Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today, getting into a pretty cool product.
Yeah, a little different from our usual stuff.
It is. It is. This is the Nostalgia Racer pedal car. You know, the one you've probably seen on Amazon or maybe Speedway Motors.
It's definitely caught some eyes. I mean, a pedal car at this price point.
Right. So we figured, let's break it down. We've gone through the descriptions, warranties, even tried to track down some customer reviews.
Because there's always more to the story than just that initial product page.
Exactly. So first things first, what are we even dealing with here?
Well, it's this kind of almost a collision of childhood and, well, potentially high-end collectible.
Yeah, you don't see too many pedal cars with custom pleated upholstery. You know.
No, you don't. That's right out of the product description, by the way.
It is. Both Amazon and Speedway Motors are pushing that sleek racing style angle, too.
Makes you wonder who they're picturing behind the wheel. Right, an actual kid.
Or someone reliving their youth. Or maybe both.
Could be. And I got to ask about those fatty wheels they keep mentioning.
Right. Like, is that a technical term? Or just, like, good marketing?
Yeah, makes you want to picture it, doesn't it? Those stick tires gripping the road.
Gotta be honest, I'm picturing more of a driveway than the open road.
Oh, absolutely. But you get the idea. Now, speaking of getting behind the wheel.
There's the price tag.
Yeah, let's not dance around that. This thing ain't cheap.
So, Amazon's got it listed at $237.99.
Saw that.
But over on Speedway Motors, it's $214.99.
Interesting. Not a huge difference, but still, $20 is $20.
Exactly. So already, savvy shoppers, take note. Price comparison is key.
Especially for something this niche, right? You're not walking into Walmart for this one.
Nope. And it does make you wonder, like, are there different vendor markups happening? Different target audiences, maybe?
Could be. Always got to think about those behind-the-scenes factors.
For sure. Now, let's say you've decided, okay, I'm taking the plunge. What about warranties?
The fine print.
So on Amazon, you've got their basic return policy, of course.
Standards.
But they also have those Azurian protection plans you can add on.
Those third-party ones, yeah.
Meanwhile, Speedway Motors keeps it simple. Just go through their customer service for any warranty stuff.
Which, has its pros and cons. Direct, but maybe less comprehensive.
Possibly. Those Azurian plans, they're almost like dot insurance, right?
Kinda, yeah. You pay extra, get coverage for accidents, malfunctions, all that.
Sounds good on paper, but we'll dig into those terms and conditions later.
Oh, absolutely. Because there's always a catch, isn't there?
Almost always. Now, here's something I found curious. No customer reviews on Amazon.
Really? None at all?
Zero. Which makes me think, is this thing brand new? Or just, like, so niche that nobody's talking about it?
Good point. But hang on, didn't Speedway have some reviews?
They did. 5 of them, plus a few answered questions.
Yeah.
Always worth checking multiple sources.
Always. So, looks like we've got a lot to unpack here. The features, those prices, the whole warranty situation.
And we're just getting started. Stay tuned, folks. We're diving deeper in the next part.
Okay, so we've got the lay of the land, but let's really get into the weeds here.
Yeah, let's break down some of those details. Like, they keep mentioning that sleek racing style. I get why they're pushing that. Visually, it's definitely a selling point.
Oh, yeah. It's not your average, like, boxy plastic pedal car.
Right. But I wonder, is it all style? Or is there some substance behind it, too?
That's a good question. I mean, for some people, that design might be a little much.
You think so?
Maybe. It depends on your taste, right? Some people might see it as cliche or, like, trying too hard to be vintage.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, it's clearly trying to evoke a certain era.
Exactly. And all that chrome, too.
Oh, yeah. They really went all in on the chrome accents.
I mean, I get it. Chrome can be cool, but sometimes it's, like, too much,
It's a fine line between classic and kind of tacky.
Totally. Now, speaking of details, what about that custom pleated upholstery?
Right. That jumped out at me, too. Like, that's not your standard issue plastic seat.
No, it definitely suggests they're aiming for something a bit more high-end.
Maybe even targeting adults with that detail.
Yeah.
You know, people who appreciate those finer touches.
Could be. It definitely adds to that whole question of, like, who is this actually FOR?
Right. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Kid, adult, collector.
Exactly. And speaking of which, what might give us some clues?
The Speedway Motors reviews.
Those, yeah. Let's see what those folks had to say.
Okay, so one reviewer mentioned that putting this thing together was a bit of a pain.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, they said some of the parts didn't line up quite right, even included pictures.
Oh, that's never fun. Especially when you're expecting something, high quality.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that even with a pricey product, assembly can still be a headache.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And this is where those real-world reviews are so valuable.
They give you that perspective you just don't get from the marketing, right?
Totally. It's one thing for the company to say, easy to assemble. It's another to hear from someone who actually did it.
Right. Another reviewer mentioned the weight. They said it's pretty heavy, might be a bit much for a smaller kid to handle.
That's a good point. Makes you think about who's actually going to be using it, right?
Yeah. Parent buying this for a 5-year-old might have different priorities than, say, an adult collector.
For sure. Weight wouldn't matter as much if it's just on display.
Exactly. Okay, so reviews give us some food for thought. Now, back to those warranties for a sec.
Yeah, let's untangle those.
We talked about the Amazon ones, those Assyrian plans. What are those all about?
Well, think of it like dot insurance for your product. They've got a couple options.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's the 2-year protection plan. It's like $48.99 extra. Covers accidents, malfunctions, even if you, like, drop it or something.
Oh, what?
And then they've got this other thing, the Assyrian Complete Protect.
That's the monthly one, right?
Yep. It's like $16.99 a month, but it covers a bunch of stuff you buy from Amazon, not just this one thing.
So basically you're paying for peace of mind.
Kinda, yeah. But gotta be smart about it.
What do you mean?
Well, before you just click add to cart, gotta read that fine print.
Of course, there's always fine print.
Always. Think about, like, how likely are you to actually need that warranty? Is this thing fragile?
Good point.
And then compare the cost of the plan to, like, what it'd cost to just repair or replace it.
Sometimes it might be cheaper to just, take the risk.
Right. And don't forget, some credit cards have purchase protection, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, good advice. Now, what about Speedway? They had those answered questions on their listing.
Oh, right. Those can be helpful, too.
So someone asked about the weight limit.
Makes sense, given what we just talking about.
Speedway says it's good for riders up to 100 pounds.
So adults be warned.
Haha, yeah. Another question was about what the car's body is made of.
Ooh, good one.
Turns out it's stamped steel.
Ah, so that explains the weight.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And it definitely contributes to that sturdy, vintage feel.
For sure. Okay, so we've got steel, we've got those fatty wheels.
Which we still got to figure out.
Haha, we do. And then, of course, that fancy upholstery.
It's like a mix of old and new all coming together.
Totally. Oh, and someone asked about replacement parts, which is smart.
Especially for something this niche, right?
Exactly. You don't want to be stuck if something breaks down the line.
Speedway said they offer a bunch of replacement parts, either through their website or customer service.
That's good to know. It's like, this isn't just a toy, it's potentially an heirloom, right?
Yeah, something you might want to pass down.
Exactly. Being able to get parts years from now is a big plus.
Okay, so we've really gone deep here. Features, prices, warranties, reviews, those Q&As.
It's more than just a product review at this point, isn't it?
It's like an investigation.
Uh-huh, kinda. But that's what we do here, right? We dig deep so you don't have to.
We've really gone through it all with this nostalgia racer, haven't we? I mean, we've covered everything from that shiny chrome and those fatty wheels to the warranties and even replacement parts. But now that we've gone through all of that, I think it's time to kind of step back.
Yeah, good idea. Look at the big picture.
Exactly. So if we connect all the dots, what's this product really telling us? Is it just a toy? Or is it like something more than that?
That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, it's definitely not your average plastic pedal car, that's for sure. You've got that price tag, the materials, the attention to detail. It just feels more aspirational than that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's almost like they're trying to capture a feeling or a memory, like a longing for something, maybe a simpler time.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of ties into that whole idea of cars representing something more,
Oh, absolutely. Like, especially back in the day, cars were more than just transportation. They were like symbols
of freedom.
Yeah, freedom, status, adventure. And this nostalgia racer, it's almost like it's trying to tap into that.
That collective memory, right? Like a time when things were built to last, craftsmanship was king.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's interesting how this product bridges different generations too.
Oh, for sure.
Like on one hand, you can totally see a kid going crazy for this thing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I can also see an adult, someone who maybe grew up in the 50s or 60s, getting a real kick out of it.
Right. Total nostalgia trip.
Yeah, like a connection to their own childhood.
It's amazing how an object can do that, isn't it? Make you feel all those things.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, are toys changing? Are we seeing more and more of these higher-end things that appeal to adults just as much as kids?
Maybe. It's like they're less about just like quick entertainment and more about craftsmanship and maybe even like an investment.
Yeah, definitely a shift towards that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide about this nostalgia racer.
Right, like does it fit into your life?
Exactly. What are your priorities? Who are you buying it for? What are you hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, those are the key questions because this isn't just about buying something. It's about something more than that.
So true. Are you buying it for a child? Hoping to spark their imagination.
Or are you buying it for yourself? Maybe you're trying to reconnect with your own past a little bit.
I think that's the perfect way to sum it all up. This deep dive, it wasn't just about specs and prices and all that.
No, it was about more than that.
It was about understanding what this thing represents,
Yeah.
what it makes people feel.
Exactly. And now it's your turn to decide what it means to you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, as you're thinking about this nostalgia racer, consider all those things we talked about.
Yeah, not just the practical stuff, but the emotional side of it too.
Right. Think about the joy it might bring, the memories, the connections.
Because sometimes the best things in life, they're not about dollars and cents, you know? It's about something more.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll catch you next time.